Welcome, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to, I think it is day 72 of the tip of the day. Today, I actually wanted to revisit a tip that I was giving in tip number 70. Jonathan had asked a question about polarities. And so I had given like a video on polarities. One of the things I have a feeling I forgot to mention, and this is the tip for today. It may be like a very, very short video because the tip is very quick. So one of the things that I forgot to talk about during I think I forgot to talk about it, is this thing that that Eckhart talks about, which is impermanence of form. It is something that the Buddhists also talk about. I know Dr. Deepak Chopra, when he was like he had taken up like the Buddhist, like he went to Thailand and went to this monastery and like shaved his eyebrows out in his head, went begging as a beggar for a week or 15 days. And that was an experience. And he was saying they would like keep an apple out in front of them and watch it rot. So that was like one of the meditations. So impermanence of form. So one of the things that polarity creates is impermanence of form. And my experience is the more we create out of ego, the more unstable the ground of whatever we create is. So you see, right, like out in the world, like somebody has a company and then suddenly it falls. Or there's somebody, a celebrity that's become a celebrity, but suddenly they fall, right? That's like the structure was built based on ego. And now suddenly they've been given this affliction, whether it's a health affliction or whatever it may be, right? Like a financial affliction, so they fall. That's because they're building out of ego. Now, this pointer Eckhart has given in A New Earth when he talks about being in Malibu, going around in, I don't know if it was in a forest or a neighborhood, but he says he saw this house that was maybe unstable, and the house had a sign that said all structures are unstable, beware, right? All structures are unstable. And Eckhart said that is a profound sutra, because all structures are unstable. And this part about all structures being unstable, we will not have an inner knowing of this unless sufficient presence arises. Because remember, the tactic, if you watch the earlier tip of the days, I would have mentioned that the ego's tactic is to always put a band-aid, right? Okay, I had this loss. Like I had this loss of my daughter moving away from me, or the partner leaving, or son moving away from me. But the ego would say, get into the victim identity and go, oh, poor little me, poor little needy me, what Eckhart calls in A New Earth. Poor little needy me, everybody's leaving me, I'm left alone by myself, I have nobody to be with, like a sob story, right? We start to, Byron Katie calls it mental movie making. We start to make a mental movie of who we are. So that's the ego's band-aid off the void, the loss. So something got taken away, impermanence of form. Once we know this impermanence of form, when something gets taken away, we just move into surrender. Okay, it got taken away and it's done, right? The act is done. We're going to move forward. There's going to be another opportunity to do the same thing in a different way, right? Like if the son moved away, maybe I get to see him like once a month or twice a month, what have you, right? Or I find a different set of friends that engage me, or different set of community that engages me. I no longer am actually experiencing the loss of the son moving away. This pointer, Eckhart also has given in a couple of talks, one on wisdom of Epictetus. I think he talks about, and I'm paraphrasing here, he says that Epictetus says, your wife died, no, you just returned her. Your son died, no, you just returned her. You just returned him. And then somebody says, what if it was a thief that robbed me, right? If the wrong person robbed me and I lost it. So Epictetus says, you always return it to the rightful owner. You always return it to the rightful owner. So look at it that way. Like if you have a loss, like somebody robbed you, then look at it that you returned it to the rightful owner. The other, so this part of returning it to the rightful owner, it's easier for East Indian, most people from East India to understand, because we understand the concept of karma, that maybe in another lifetime you owed this person that money and that's why they robbed you, right? These people, that's why the loss was given, or you needed the lesson of the loss to teach you impermanence of form, because you were so attached to the money, or you were so attached to whatever it may be. So that's my tip for today, is the more you have a knowing that you may have children, grandchildren, aunts, uncles, father, mother, parents, impermanence of form reigns. On this earth, there is polarity, and polarity implies impermanence of form. The one thing we can always do, live your life with integrity. Live your life with so much integrity. Let presence rule your life, that you don't experience that impermanence of form as much as somebody else that lives out of ego would. That's my tip for today, is live your life with integrity, which is be aligned with your inner being. Do what your inner being says that you need to be doing, which is your connectivity with your higher self, with source, with the divine. The more you allow your divinity to play out, the less you will have this experience of impermanence of form. Things will, there'll be gain and loss, just like I said in the video of tip number 70, that Eckhart gained fame, but he lost that ability to have that be incognito out in public. He couldn't go grocery shopping or whatever it may be, right? So yeah, they maybe gained that I got fame, but here there's this loss, which is fine, that you adjust to it, right? Impermanence of form. You thought that it was that you could be somebody, that you could go out in public and go into coffee shops, go to Starbucks, sit in Starbucks, but no longer can you do that without people bombarding you, like swarming you, right? Recognizing you and swarming you. So no longer can you do the coffee shop thing. You'll have to make a coffee shop at home, get a cappuccino machine at home. And Patricia and I, Louise, don't drink coffee, so it's not even an option for us. Maybe we'll make celery juice at home, right? You no longer can go to the store and buy the celery juice. So that's the thing. And the greatest example of somebody that has been permanent is, I use the example of, I mean, you can use anybody's example, right? Like Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, people who have come from very, like Oprah Winfrey was the daughter of a maid. I think her mother or grandmother was cleaning homes. So, and she was really, really poor. Her father was just a barber. So coming from those means, because of the fact that she has been giving so much, like she balances out her presence with completely aligned, right, with her inner being, her inner purpose, that her purpose was to actually bring awareness about different topics to the world. She was able to create this platform, the Oprah Winfrey Show, and then now she has her own channel. So perfect example that we can live up to, right? That when we do it from presence, then the fact that we have impermanence of form does not rule us. And to that, I would give my own personal example. In 2012, I had a house, I owned a house. I went through a financial loss. So loss, right? Polarity, loss. I sold the house. Didn't mean that I was always going to be not in a house, right? Now in 2023, I've bought a house. So it just doesn't mean that if you had a loss, you're always going to be, like it's going to pull you, the victim story is going to definitely pull you down. So you have to get out of the victim story. So that's my tip, that, yeah, you'll experience a loss, but the more, I like hugged that house. I had done so much in that house. Like I had put in a new air conditioner, good spring on the garage door, changed the water heater, a lot of good things. And when I gave it to a young couple, I was like, they will make it their home, right? Like the love that you feel about giving away the home to somebody that's going to create a home for a young family, that gave me a lot of joy. I hugged that house before I left, and I never knew that I would go buy another house, but circumstances are such that finally I decided, why waste the rental money? Why can't I invest it in a real estate and actually buy a house? So that was, don't get attached to the story. And it was a lesson of surrender in 2012. So impermanence of form and surrender. And one of your tips of the day was about surrender. So as long as you surrender, and that comes only from a great depth of presence, that you surrender, right? Read Eckhart's chapter 10 of The Power of Now, the meaning of surrender. The 3 modalities of awakened doing. The first modality is acceptance. If you always need to be in acceptance. Yeah, you can be in a state of joy, or you can be in a state of enthusiasm, but be in the state of default mode network for living day-to-day life. Be in a state of acceptance. Okay, 2 tips. It actually became 2 tips. So with that, have a spectacular weekend. Many blessings. Much love. Eternally grateful for all the love and support. Bye. Thank you.